All right, next video on our little entrepreneurial vlog that I've been doing. I think it's been a while. I think I said I was going to do this like every week. I think the last one I did was a couple weeks ago, but I guess it really doesn't matter. I didn't really say I'd put a timeline on myself for what I was going to do, but recently, just to kind of get everyone caught up, or myself, whoever's watching this, if I'm going to watch this in 10 years or not. The Chinese Spring Festival, which basically leads into like the Chinese New Year. I don't really know how it works, but basically, all of China, people who work at least, they take off from like January 19th, 18th, 20th, and they take off 2 weeks. So until about February. And then some manufacturers take off from the Chinese New Year up to 4 weeks. It's really been confusing trying to figure out the Spring Festival. I didn't really do a bunch of research. All I know is it halted a lot of my advertisements, and it's really given me the chance to kind of look at my business. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How does my website look? What am I Where's my direction gonna go? Because I went from let's get some ads out, let's do some recording, let's figure out the best way to target my audience, right? And I couldn't do that anymore. So it made me work on other things. It got to the point where it was hard. I wasn't making sales. That high that you get from getting a sale is just amazing. And I think one of the main reasons I'm doing this vlog is because I recently got a sale, which I'll get into. But when you don't get a lot of sales, for some people I'm sure it's different. For me, I make usually a minimum of $30 per sale that I do. I know that there's some people who they have a pretty decent markup or that are only making $10 or $15. I'd hope they're making at least 30 because I've seen some of these cheaper products, especially you might only make $10, right? So for me, I've been trying to sell more expensive products that at least the tech community knows about. Either they know about them. Oh my gosh, my cat's freaking out right now. They either know about them or they know of them. But mainly on Facebook, at least, I was targeting people who might not have known about them, and of course, most people thought they were scams because I'm selling stuff like this, little game handhelds, and I don't know my cat because he's getting annoying. And they don't. A lot of them don't know about them, so a lot of them think they're scams and whatnot. So I have to educate them as well, which I'm also learning. Is a lot of people who think something's a scam, they think it's a scam because they're not really educated on what the device is. If it's clothing or jewelry, it's either what are the materials made of? Perfect. I don't care. I'm not allergic to that metal, or I'm not. I like that material better because it's softer, or who knows what. Right. With my stuff, it's does it work? A and B, how well does it work? And then the third one is, oh, my cat's jumping on me. Does it require a lot of technical knowledge, know-how? So, and then the next thing afterwards is my website. I realized that my website was not good. I was looking at other people's websites, and I'm just like, man, this doesn't look very good, like at all. So I revamped my website. I've been going nuts over it. Creating a theme on Shopify is really difficult because it doesn't matter. Every theme is going to have something that you want. And unless you pay a ton of money, you don't know if you're not going to get each feature that you like. Because some of them, like for instance, I like large photos in the description. I couldn't find a theme because what AliExpress does, Amazon, I'm trying to think what other, they all in the description, they give you the ability to make very large photos, and they give you a lot of room for that, right? And that kind of helps you tell a story with your product if you have those large photos. Now, my gosh, this cat. Is that better? Now, for whatever reason, a lot of these Shopify themes, they don't let you put those photos on display. And if they do, they don't give you the option where you can post, like, you like your featured product photos, right? Where it has like the colors of the item and so forth, and you can just kind of select those. And then you have the photos for the description. It doesn't let you do that. It's kind of like one or the other. You either use all your photos in the description, or you you put all of, or you can manually put them in the description, and that it only makes them, pretty, it doesn't make them very big. And I think Shopify does that because not a lot of people have high quality photos, so this is kind of an easy way to do it. I don't know. Either way, I've been in a point where it just hasn't been, nothing's easy is the point. And I think every entrepreneur realizes this, is that you have a vision for one way, for one thing. Like, you want your website to look like this, you want your audience to react like this. And if you're an entrepreneur, you have to be adaptable. It's just not, I don't think it's possible for you to be an entrepreneur if you can't adapt. But you still, there's a certain way you want things to go, and it doesn't always work out. But the amazing thing is, what I've noticed is, at least in my experiences, you make sales, you make impacts in ways you didn't even think of, because you get so caught up in your own head. You might say something to a customer that really impacts their decision to buy, like if they're asking you a question on Facebook or whatnot, or you might have put that little word there that someone really thought was genuine, right? Because the ultimate, in any ad copy, advertisement, social media, is you want to be relatable, engaging. You want the customer to feel like you care, that you care about them. And ultimately, I want my customers to love my products, to love the information that I'm doing. I mean, you have to be if you're a business owner. Otherwise, what are you doing if you don't care what the customer thinks, right? And I want them to enjoy that stuff. and I've just been rambling here, but the point is, the one product I was selling on Etsy, and it was like this portable PlayStation 2. I don't think the description was that great, but I didn't expect it to sell. I was just kind of testing it. And I know someone just bought it, and it was getting a ton of views on Etsy. And I know that it's like a handcrafted PlayStation 2 portable handheld, kind of like one of these, where you can play it, but someone slimmed down the motherboard, put it a screen, took out the buttons, all configured them to make it like a Nintendo Switch, but with a PlayStation 2, and you can put games via the USB stick. And without getting into details, I didn't expect it to sell. I just wanted to see like if people would be interested in it. And I mean, it wasn't a cheap device. It's over $700, $800 worth. I can't remember what it costs. But they're not cheap, so I didn't expect anyone to buy it, at least during this time period. So I made a pretty decent amount of money on it, and it just happened today. And I was, after going through all of these struggles, trying to figure out my website, and you get a sale, and then it happens in a way you don't expect, because you just put this on this random site just hoping to God someone might buy it. So that was a really big thing for me, because I was, you go into this like introverted cycle, and I'm not an introvert, but you just kind of go through this loop of, I need to get all the details right. I need to fix this, and you distract yourself with your business. Like I wouldn't stop working until like 3 a.m, and I had to tell myself, no, Matt, here's advice to future Matt. No matter what, set time to do things for yourself, no matter how much money you're making, because Gary Vaynerchuk, I love him because he preaches this. You need to work in your 20s so you can enjoy, whatever. Or he tells people who are building a business, how often are you working? Are you working weekends? And then he's like, oh yeah, I never took any days off. I didn't. You have more. You've had more time to yourself than I did in my entire 20s. And it's not like you should feel bad about doing stuff like that. And if you're complaining about not seeing results and you're not working more, then yes, that's the issue. You should work more. You should do more. But I don't believe psychologically. I don't believe that will allow you to make rational decisions in the heat of the moment, because I believe you need to take time to work on yourself, not distract yourself, work on yourself, read, meditate, spend time with people. That's extremely important. And you get so caught up with what you're doing, you forget to do stuff like that. I'm finally getting back into working out. I've been dieting. I've been working on myself. If you're going to be working from home, you need to be working on yourself, because at the end of the day, if you lose focus on what's important, then how are you going to de-escalate yourself? What are you going to do to refocus? Because that happens all of the time. You're working 10 hours and then it's like, oh no, what do I do? So you distract yourself with video games or whatnot. I'm not saying video games are bad. Sometimes video games have been good for me, but you need to be able to reflect, to be able to slow down, is my point. Get advice from people. And, spend time with your significant other, especially, because you'll get distracted. But anyway, I'm not going to have this video go on much longer. I hope to speak more on this. I kind of mostly rambled, but that's kind of where my mind has been as an entrepreneur. So this is the raw, unedited version of Matt during his ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So anyway, that's everything. Hope to be posting more vlogs going through my journey. All right.